Hi friend, welcome to Plus2Net. Download the source code from the URL given at the description and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Now we'll divide this into three parts. Then the part 1 will connect to the database, and in the second part we'll build the query and execute it, and in the third part we'll display the records. Now we'll be using or enabling MySQLi for connecting to the database. Now what is MySQLi? It is available along with your PHP installation, or you may have to enable it. Now we'll see how to enable it, and again we'll see how to, and we'll check the installation and see whether it is enabled or not. There are some prerequisites like you must be running PHP on a web server, any type of web server it can be, and MySQL must be running, and you should have the login details like user ID, password, and the database name. And once it is over, we'll be create a connection object, and this object will be using for our further use in the database management. In your system, search for the file php.ini. Now this file may be there inside your Windows or inside your PHP folder, and open this php.ini in any text editor and search for the line php_mysqli.dll. Now you land in here. Now see that this if this extension is disabled, then you will have a semicolon at the left. Just remove the semicolon at the left to enable it. You may have to restart your system and check again. Now how to check it? In this you have there is a command php info which gives the entire installation of PHP. Now this command you can run it through a file and open it in your browser. You will be presented with all the details of the PHP installation. Now in this PHP installation you can search for MySQLi, and if you are getting these details, then you are sure that your MySQLi is enabled and you can use the connection object for your further database management. With this knowledge, now we'll build the connection string and the connection object. Now let us just see the variable host. All these variables we need to fill to establish the connection to the MySQL database. Now the host variable is the address of the MySQL running. Now most of the cases it will be the same machine where the PHP and MySQLs are running, or it can be if your MySQL is running in a different location, then the IP address of the location, or even if this IP address can be your Google Cloud address also. Now while creating the database, you must have created a database already with you, or you can create it at any time. Now you feed the database detail here. Similarly, feed your username and fill your password if you have created already, or you can create one. Now with this all the details are filled by the user, we can get the connection object. Now it can happen that something in the details whatever we have given may not be correct. In that case, the error message we can generate by using the codes below. Now let us see where we will keep the connection object. Now this connection string we can keep it at in our files, but imagine that we have a small script or a small or a big script where hundreds of pages are there, and everywhere we have mentioned this connection string. Now imagine you have changed your password of your database, then all the 100 pages you have to change. Now similarly, if your site is running in a website, you are running a website and you have changed your host, and your new host is provided with a different user ID and password or address, then you have to change all the pages, and if you miss anything, then your site may collapse. To avoid these problems, it is better to keep a common file in a common location and connect and call those files from your respective files. Now we can give a file name at config.php or myconnectionphp, store it inside a directory. Here we have used a require, and we have used the include directory and kept the details in myconnection.php. You can give your own name to the connection file and or the folder. Now remember this connection object. This object we will be using in our further database management. We will check our connection string now by filling all the variables. We have already filled here all the details. Now let us slightly modify it, and we will add one else condition. You can see the MySQLi connect function returns true if the connection is successful, or false if there is an issue. So then in this case you can see the else if the connection is successful, then the else block will be executed and successfully connected message will come. Now what we will do, we will create one error here by changing the user ID. Now let us see, let us save this user ID, let's save the connection string and run it now. Now you can see we are getting the error, so error number and the error details. Now you can see here that your error reporting is 0, so we are silent the error reporting, and so the else part condition is not executed because there is an issue with the username. Now let us give the correct user ID, and we will see that now successfully connected. But usually in our regular database management, we will not keep this part, because as this file will be connected to all our database management files, so we don't want successfully connected message to come all the time. Now this is the file, we will save it under config.php and run it again and again. Okay, we'll run once more. Now there is no message, means yes, there is no message, means our connection object is created successfully. Now we'll use this connection object for our subsequent database management. Now we are in part 2 of our script, where we will build the query and execute it. Already you have seen how the config.php file, and it contains our database connection details, and connection object is given to us. Now let us understand the query. Here query is a variable, a string variable, where we are using a select query, select star from student, limit is 0 to 5. Now you have used a star, means all the columns will be returned from the student table, and this limit command we are using, telling that you return from the first record or the 0th position you start from, and return 5 number of records. So this is all about our query, what you will be using for our database collecting the records. Now let us execute it by using MySQLi. This part we already know. The config is the database connection, next is the query. Now here is the code. Now this code is MySQLi connection we used here, and the query function will return true or false based on if the SQL query is successfully executed. Now since this query is successfully executed, so the code inside the if block is executed. Now let us see what about this result set. Result set is the object of MySQLi result function, and this object stores all the rows returned by MySQL database. Now using this result set, since we have asked for the 5 number of rows, so 5 rows are stored in this result set. Now let us use a while loop and use each row at a time within the loop. Now each time one row is returned, and the row elements are displayed by row ID. We know what are the column names. Column names are the elements here, and once all the rows are exhausted, then this will return as null, and the while loop will come out. Now this is how we get all the records from the MySQL database. Now similarly, if you, instead of MySQLi, you can use PDO, a portable data object, and this is the code. It's as the same, the config.php file, it has its own database way of connection and the query string, and we have displayed all the columns of the returned record set inside a table. So PDO also can be used. You can download all the data or all the source codes from the site. Let us write the code what you have understood so far. Now already require config.php. Now this file contains our connection object. It is now by just including at the top. Now this connection object is available to us. We will write the query now. Now what you will writing? You will be writing a select query. Select ID, name, class, mark from student. Student is our table name. We'll use a limit from 0 to 5. This is what we have learnt in our just now, so we will be using this. Now this query will be using it inside a if condition while we'll execute the query function. Now let us just see what I am doing. Now I am using this variable is equal to connection. This connection is available inside the config.php
PHP file. So I am directly using this. Now query is string, I am executing, and this if block. Now this query will return true if it is successfully executed. So the whatever code I write inside the if block will be executed. Now let us, I have just written something, the table and the while loop inside this. So let us paste it here. Now you can just see what I have written here. Let me give a, in between these two, what I did is I have written, this is the just simple HTML table with a class of style, then header row, this is all our header row which gives our column heads. Now let us see, we are having a while loop. Now this while loop use this statement. Now this variable which you have executed, we got it from here. Now this statement contains all the five rows of data from MySQL table. Using the while loop, we are looping through all these, within these rows one by one. Now once all the rows are returned, then this will return null and the while loop will come out. Now here inside the row, each element is our column data. So these data are displayed here. Now once we are out of the while loop, we have closed the table, and here is the end block of our if code. So let us save it, see how this works. Fine. Now this is how the data comes out.
We have just written to display this table for us. Now let us see that each record has a unique ID and also a name field. Now connecting this ID with this name field will create a hyperlink, so the user can take the unique ID of the record to further display the full details of the particular record. So these two will be using to create a URL or create a hyperlink. Now let us see how this hyperlink is generated. This is our link to the next page. Here the target page of the URL we have written. Now this is the name we are displaying already, and this is our name value pair which we will be using to carry the unique ID of the record for our further processing.
Let us add the hyperlink to our name column. Now details.php is our target page where we will be carrying the ID. Now I am keeping the ID here. Okay, now I have made all the hyperlinks to the name column. Let us save it, go there and refresh it. Okay, you can see now I have added hyperlinks to all the names, and each record carry the unique ID of the particular student. We are inside details.php. We'll first collect the value from the address bar, the ID value, but here we will not use it right now. We'll use a fixed value. The detail of the fourth record will collect. Now let us this is the database details we are collecting from config.php file. Now let us write the query. We will be collecting all the records, all the columns from where now I am putting the code block again here inside a if. So in case anything goes wrong, I will able to print the error message. Statement is equal to connection. Now this connection is inside my config.php file. Query function I am using. Now this if block will be executed if the query executed successfully. Now once the query is executed, I will get a single row. So I will store it in a row variable. My variable name is row. Now I will use the fetch associate. This function returns me one row of data from the MySQL table, student table. That's all. Now I have the row variable contains all the columns of student record ID 4. Now let me print it. ID equal to row, now ID, let me just keep a comma. I have to add other columns. Let us copy this, use this as name also. Class, now this class, because we have used a star in our query, so all the columns are by default available to us. Let us use if you have more columns, all one by one you can display here. Now that's all. Let's remove this comma. That's all. We have displayed all the columns. Let us run. So click any record. Yeah, we got it. The ID 4 we got it now, but here the ID is 2 because we have used a fixed. Now let us change that. Now instead of, we will comment this line. So now the ID will be taken from the address bar or from the query string. Now whichever row we click, now you just see, we'll click John Mike, this ID is 5, so ID 5 is displayed. Now let us go back again, click this, we got the ID is equal to 1. So like this, any link we can keep and display the matching. We have successfully displayed the data, but there is a security issue. We cannot use the variable the value taken directly from the address bar. This will create a security issue because any code can be injected into our query and it will create problem for us. We will discuss separately what are the security issues and how the code can be injected. Now we will prevent it here. Now to do that, we will change our query a bit. We will use a parameter here. Now let us, we cannot execute directly here, so we will say that prepare. Now we are preparing the query here, and in the next line we will tell that we'll bind the parameter to the query now. Now here we are passing a ID. Now ID means we are telling that this is an integer value, so we have used I here. Now suppose a string is there, then S we could have used. So here we can sequentially, you can give, all the details are available about the prepare statement in the site. You can download the source code of it. Now let us, okay, with this we can execute the query. So let us execute. Now to our database, the parameter and the query will go travel separately. So the chance of directly executing is eliminated. So that is why it is better to use a parameter whenever we are directly using any value taken from the outside or from the address bar. Now let me create the result. Now this is equal to who it will have. Now it is, I will get the result set here. Get result I am using, so my result will have the result set here. Now here I have to do a slight change here. The row is no more an array here. It gives us, see here I have to use result fetch object. We will tell that get the object. Now because we are getting a single row, so a object will be will get it. Now since we are getting a object, so we have to change this code also. We will point a arrow type to get the values of the particular columns. Now whatever earlier we have used, that was a array, so our elements we are displaying. Now we are okay, class is completed. Now let us go to mark. This should work. Let me just check once. Fetch object. Now we have executed, we got a result set. Now let us save it, go back to our, okay, here we will second, third record. Let us try. Yeah, it comes. So this is how we have displayed. Now we have used the prepare statement also to prevent the injection attack.